Well, for the latest, we can cross to Beirut and check in with our senior reporter, Catherine Norris-Trent. Catherine, tell us more about the latest strikes. It seems Israel is widening its bombing campaign.
Good morning, Alison. Yet again, Beirut is waking up to news of strikes in a variety of areas, not just in the southern suburbs of Beirut, which have been pummeled by Israeli airstrikes and are a known Hezbollah stronghold. But this night, again, we heard loud explosions, and it seems that Israeli strikes hit a northern capital of Beirut for the first time. That's in the capital of Nabaa. That's an Armenian area, and it seemed that that was perhaps a targeted strike on an apartment. We've seen a few of those in recent days, and that came just hours after a strike on the southern edge of Beirut, down towards the coastline in an area known as Janah. So you can see that this is not just confined to those southern suburbs, and that we really saw proof of last night, just before dusk, when Israel put out an unprecedented evacuation warning for a couple of buildings really in the heart of Beirut, just hundreds of meters away from government buildings, the Prime Minister's office, the UN building, foreign embassies, telling people to get at least 300 meters away. And then there came a couple of large strikes on buildings which Israel said were housing what they called Hezbollah terrorist infrastructure. In fact, they said that in one of the buildings they hit, they believed Hezbollah had been hiding millions of dollars of cash in the basement. Now, of course, we haven't been able to go and verify that, but this does seem to signal that Israel is widening out, as it has pledged to do, their airstrikes in the capital from those southern suburbs, the Dahia as they're known, to various targets around the capital, sometimes with warnings, sometimes without. And that's leaving people here very afraid, because they really don't know where and when the next strike could come.
And meanwhile, Catherine, Israel also seems to be expanding its campaign in southern Lebanon, issuing expanded evacuation orders there. Now, you were down in the south just yesterday. Tell us about what you saw there.
Yeah, that's right. The team and I were reporting down from the city of Tyre in southern Lebanon. That is south of the Litani River, and that is a zone which, for days now, the Israeli army has called on everyone from the south of the Litani River to evacuate further north, because they say they're going to be carrying out extensive military operations there and trying to set up a buffer zone in the south of Lebanon to protect residents of northern Israel. They have widened out that mass evacuation call now to swathes of the country further north, saying not just south of the Litani River, but south of another river, the Zarani River, which takes that some 40 kilometers further north. We're talking about around 10% of Lebanese territory, basically the whole of the south of the city of Saida. So that is a big order. We've already seen hundreds of thousands of people hitting the roads and getting out. I have to say, though, that when we were down in the city of Tyre, we did see quite a few people remaining there, some of them telling us they had nowhere to go, others saying they did not want to leave, that this was their land. And Hezbollah, meanwhile, is keeping up its military operations in the south. They've been firing out, again, barrages of rockets towards northern Israel in coordination with Iran from the countryside around Tyre, and they very much are indicating they do not want to stop their combat. In fact, they say they've launched a new and more intense phase of military operations.